not. We don't
There's
have.
two seasons of a show.
We don't have time to deal with that. Jordan, my first thing. Oh boy. Okay. So Jordan, this is a spoiler alert for what Jordan's going to talk about. Jordan decided he wanted to talk about notoriously sad. Well, I was looking at the list first of all, and one movie jumped out, and I didn't want to do it. I wasn't going to do it, and then Jordan was like, "I'm going to watch Old Yeller," which basically pulled out the velvet glove, and slapped my face.
Yeah, yours is worse.
And this is Marley and Me.
Like the experience of raising your first dog. Of course, that kid's not even me. That's me. And that crazy hound I'm chasing is Marley, the world's worst dog.
Sorry!
But our story begins before Marley was born.
Dream house. Paint a Barney on the wall and you have a great little playroom. You guys are gonna have kids, right?
Yes.
You want my advice? Get a puppy or something. I've never had a dog.
There's nothing to it. You walk them, you feed them, you let them out every now and again.
This Christmas, get ready for a surprise.
1, 2, 3.
You're adorable. Hi, puppy.
Marley, this is our house. And now it's yours.
Marley, you can't go through a screen door.
It's just like a little kid, except no fur here.
That's not a dog. That is evil with a dog face. Yep.
He made an answering machine and then went back and had the phone for dessert.
A dog can only have one master. Which one of you has the most authority in your relationship?
Well, maybe I'll stand over there for the beginning.
Yours is worse.
And like, yeah, there was definitely a point at the
You
end
win.
when I went, Jordan, you're a goddamn monster, and I hate you. Why did you do this to me? Why did you pull out the velvet glove and slap my face? Why'd you do it? Because I've seen this movie.
I mean,
times,
we were doing
and
animal
I cry
movies.
Every single, I'm bearing the lead. I've seen this movie 3 times. I cry every single fucking time. I cried the first time I watched it in theaters. I cried again when I watched it by myself. And then I cried a third time when I watched it the other day. I cried worse because it turns out being stoned makes you cry so much worse. I found myself being like, I don't even really understand why, because the circumstances of the dog dying is not sad or tragic. The dog lives a very long and fulfilling life, and I think that's to this movie's credit that it. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen Marley and Me, it is about a writer named John Grogan, who is a real guy. This is based on a true story, and Marley was a real dog. And he wrote a column about his life, and a lot
Marley
of times,
and Me.
Huh?
Marley and Me.
Well, the column wasn't called Marley and Me. The column was just about his life, and it happened to involve a lot of Marley, but it wasn't always about Marley. And just like in the movie, the columns aren't always about Marley, but they always wind up being about Marley. And so he combined all of those columns into a book, made them into a book, and this movie's based off of that book. And yeah, the stuff. Credit to everyone. Owen Wilson, again, third time popping up this week, is honestly good in this. He's really quite good. He's subtle. Him and Jennifer Aniston is his wife. They are a believable couple. They have believable couple problems. There isn't an over the top moment of they get divorced or whatever. They fight. They have ups and they have downs, just like any regular people would. And it's about he initially gets a dog because the wife wants a baby, but he's not ready for a baby. But they're ready to like evolve their relationship. So they get Marley, and Marley is a terror on 4 legs. He pulls, he chases, he runs, he chews things up, he destroys things.
He's a golden retriever, right?
He's a Labrador retriever.
Labrador, right.
And he's a golden lab. He's afraid of thunderstorms, and when there's thunderstorms, he causes all kinds of damage. And yeah, the movie's basically John Grogan's life, along with his interactions with Marley. And you see Marley go from a little puppy to a senior dog. And you see John Grogan, he eventually has kids. He inevitably has three kids. When he has the second kid, there's a part where the wife has like a version of postpartum depression, and then they eventually have a third kid, and it bounces around his career and such, and it eventually ends with they move out to they grow up in Florida, and they move to like I think it's like Minnesota or some midwestern like part of the country, and it gets to the bit at the end where Marley is now old and he can't really do all the things he used to do. He can't go upstairs.
He takes him for one last walk, doesn't he?
He sleeps downstairs, and there's a bit where they can't find him. Like they goes to let him out to go to the bathroom. And what's funny is as Marley gets older, he becomes more relaxed, more subdued, more like he starts to lose his energy, but in like a positive way, where like that puppy energy kind of burns out. And so yeah, there's a bit where they can't find him, and they find him out in the rain, and his stomach has flipped, and they're like, it's pretty common ailment that dogs often go through. They're like, typically when it happens, it's gonna happen again. It's just sort of a matter of like when, not
making them comfortable until it happens.
And so he manages to survive through the night, and he lives for a little while longer. And one of the kids says that when dogs die, they often don't want to be around the people that they love, so they go off and they hide when they know that it's time. And so it gets to the end, and they go and they find him outside, out by a tree, and he's just lying there. He doesn't have any energy anymore. They can't get him to do anything. And there's a bit where Owen Wilson walks him up to a ledge, and they're just sitting there looking over the ledge, and he says, he's like, Marley, you'll tell me when it's time, right? Like, you'll tell me that, you'll let me know, right? And yeah, so that happens, and he takes him to the vet, and once again the stomach slipped or whatever. And yeah, the kids, man, oh my god, it's the kids. There's the bit where the whole family knows that this is the last time they're gonna get to see Marley, and they're putting him into the car, and the little girl gives him his little stuffy, and he's like, don't chew on it, okay? And the oldest son, it says goodbye to him, and they all say goodbye to him or whatever, takes him to the hospital, and Owen Wilson has this devastating little speech, little dialogue with Marley, where he basically is like, we called you the worst dog, but in fact that's not true. You're the best dog. And it's really emotional, and it really hits you, and it just makes you think of every person, animal, thing you've ever lost in your life, and it makes you feel every bit of loss and tragedy you've ever felt, all condensed into one moment and one dog. And you're like, oh my god, I'm like weeping. I'm like, and yeah, they dog passes away. They take him home, and they're burying him. They have a little funeral. And they all say like words to say goodbye to him. And the son, it goes to the oldest son. And he's like, he knows. And I'm like, right in my heart.
Hit me in my feelings.
Get my feelings. And like the only reason, like I was gonna be like, if you don't cry at the end of this movie, you're an absolute monster. But also, like, if you're not a dog person, like there are people out there who are genuinely not dog people, and like, fair enough. If you're not a dog person, this will not mean anything to you. But if you're not a dog person, why are you watching a movie about a dog? But like,
fair point.
One day I'm gonna watch this and not absolutely bawl my eyes out at the end. But it is rough, and it's such a rough feeling because you're like, I don't know why this feels so. It's like you're feeling grief for a fictional dog. Because the movie does such a good job of showing
but it makes
his entire life and being like, oh no, he lived a fulfilling life, but losing something you love
is always hard.
Still fucking hurts.
So hurts. Here's an interesting question for you. Do you think? How do I word this? In terms of the emotional gut punch of this movie, do you think it would achieve the same result if it was a different breed of dog?
Yes. For me it would, because I just feel for dogs generally. I think a better question would be, would it have the same impact if it were a cat?
Or another animal like a goat?
Yeah. Yes. But that's just because the movie's really effective and emotionally manipulative and knows how to play on your emotions. To be fair, the theme of this is like, oh, it's your first dog and dealing with your first dog, so maybe not, but it would for me. I can't speak for everybody, but in this instance, it would for me. Depending on the context and how it did it, it would. But to be fair, I'm discovering in my 30s I am a highly emotional creature who it doesn't take much to get me nowadays. So, just being honest, this stuff.
Yeah.
I cried at the end of Clerks 3, and then I felt stupid. So like, yeah, I think it's just the age I'm at now. That's it. That is Marley and Me. Hey there, everybody. It's N-Card Justin here. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen Marley and Me? Did you cry? It's okay if you cried. I cried. You can tell me if you cried. It's fine. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you want to see the full podcast that this is from, our cute animals episode, you click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. We'll see you all in the next video. Well, have a good day, everyone.